Alright, so I'm doing my movie review on Bridesmaids, which we watched in class recently. And my first review is from Pete Bradshaw of The Guardian. And he gives it a 4 out of 5 stars. And basically, he talks about how funny, smart, and tender the ensemble comedy starring its co-writer Kristen Wiig. And it pulls off a remarkable trick of being brutal and gentle at the same time, which I kind of completely agree with. I also think that Kristen Wiig, this is her first time actually getting a full leading role, which I've always seen her in supporting roles, which is kind of interesting to me. And I feel like she kind of took off because of that. And then it says, Wiig persuades you there is something genuinely loving and sisterly to be found at the end of this incredible ordeal. Which is kind of cliche, but I feel like I kind of agree with that because at the end there's a happy ending even though there's all this fighting going on during the whole course of this movie. And it's kind of telling us how it's like the first kind of women's only film. I feel like this is kind of turned into its own genre now, which is really interesting, but it was kind of like, I know a lot of reviews are saying how it's kind of like the Woman's Hangover, which is I guess, but I feel like it's kind of like broke off into its own kind of movie. And my second review is from Hollywood Reporter. Hold on. And this one's by Todd McCarthy. And he kind of agrees that it's a great movie and hold on. Basically, I kind of agree with this. It's hard not to connect strongly with Annie, nor to come away with feeling like that, because I feel like everyone's had that time where, like, they hit rock bottom, but then everything gets better. And then it says, behind the laughs, both crude and clever, doesn't lie an uncannily vivid portrait of self-destruction impulse. Annie has enough going for her looks, smarts, wit, and general affability. She spoils only with an unchecked honesty that she could be able to make out just fine personally and professionally. She can't do, holy fuck. She can't do either presence the occasion for no small measure of humor, as well as for a distinctive comic character study in which Wiig generally excels, which I completely agree with. And it gives it a 4 out of 5 stars as well. So I thought it was a really good movie. And I feel like generally most of the critics thought it was a great movie, and kind of how it did its own thing, and it kind of had some scenes that people have never really seen before, like the whole wedding dress scene I thought was hilarious. And yeah, so that's my movie review 1.